So it's a volatile mix. But
Yeah.
the land was big enough then, and there weren't millions coming over. It's the dribble in, and the people were leaving the second acts in Europe, let's say, and then there were people who were carted over as slaves or otherwise,
Hmm.
from Africa and other places too. But that all that comes with all of this psyche,
Yeah.
all of the collective unconscious and the archetypes, and nations are lived by archetypes, and some archetypes are more prominent here and some prominent are over there, and there can be archetypes that conflict
Yeah.
that are often one. The opposite archetypes have two sides at least. There's the positive energy side, the positive side of the archetype, and the negative.
Yeah.
Like we have God, presuming God's a good God, but say we're already getting complicated because
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about that.
Right.
Oh, but Jesus and the devil, or good and evil, the angel on this shoulder, the devil on this shoulder. But it's all archetypes of power and spiritual stuff, and energy. Where
Mm.
I refer to it like juju. There's that energy. The
Yeah.
archetypes have a lot of energy. So all this is coming over into the continent. Now they were leaving. The fantasy was that, and it's a good fantasy because that comes from where? We don't make up the fantasy. It comes from the unconscious,
Right.
as our
Right.
dreams do.
Yes.
Symbols we don't make up. We're going to get to symbols because symbols are archetypally based too. But the symbols they're dreamed. I mean, we can't make them up.
Yes. Yes.
So they come from that transpersonal objective. Jung says the psyche, the unconscious, is objectively real, just as the moon is real and you and I are real. They're real differently.
Mm.
They're
Mm.
real, on another level, but they're very real. The psyche's real, whereas Freud said, no, the psyche is just your imagination. We have just this little personal level of the unconscious. There's nothing beneath that. So just as a little tracking device with the development of psychology, and Jung and Freud had a big disagreement about that, and that's why we have all these different schools. We were back to the melting pot, different schools of psychology, because
Yeah.
the psyche, if you haven't noticed, it has many, many different expressions, and it's not at war with any of them. I mean, there's
Right.
war. A war is an archetype, but it's all there. All bets are off, and that would get us into the trickster archetype, which we'll get into. But all these people came over, let's say from Europe, and down into South America and stuff, but into North American continent. And they wanted to escape the king.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But as Young pointed out, well, yeah, they came over, but they brought the king inside of them with them.
Right.
This is the problem we have right now. See,
Yes.
we
Yes.
we got we got away from the king, but king royalty is archetypal. The king is the representative of, and the queen, all the royalty represent God on earth, whoever you believe the God to be. But in the West, it would be, up close to the Western God, a monotheistic God, maybe with three parts of it, get into the theology and stuff. But we have the king archetype, the
Yes.
royalty, the leadership archetype within us. And we haven't really dealt with the dark side of the king, which is why people left the king.
Right. And I feel like this is where we're at right now in terms of, obviously the No Kings, that was a great symbol. They came up with that with Indivisible. And now it's, let's keep going with that theme, right? Because obviously it hits something deep within all of us in America because we have this like collective unconscious that kind of brings us back to, oh yeah, we all ran away from the king. And yet I feel like right now you're seeing such a split between people who are still embracing the no king, we don't want a king in America, and then others who are somehow, getting pulled into revisiting that.